All right, guys, we're going over lifestyle here. Everybody talk about lifestyle, and I've taken the liberty to lay on my couch and do this one because we're talking about lifestyle. I want to be relaxed, right? So, lifestyle is important because what really means when we're talking about lifestyle, it's like all of the choices that you make up your lifestyle. And all of those choices within your life are going to have an effect on your health and the way that you look and feel. So we need to make sure that we dial all these in. And if you ever consulted with me in person or online, you know I always talk about that we have three main pillars. This is a graphic from my ebook that I created. And whether you're trying to build muscle and strength, if you're trying to lose fat, whatever your fitness goal is generally here, we have these main pillars, and they are all supported by adherence, right? Whatever you do, if you can't stick to it, it is not, it's worthless, right? So the big things here are nutrition, weightlifting, and lifestyle. And if you don't have one of these pillars, you're unlikely to achieve whatever your goal is here. Because you might see, hey, I keep going to the gym, and I see so-and-so keeps going to the gym, or, their physique never changes. My physique never changes. Like, what is it? Like, we're in the gym lifting hard, and it's like, well, there are certain things that need to be prioritized. And when you're in the gym, like, what's the main goal while you're there? It's to build muscle and strength because that's going to be the most effective thing for you. But what's going on there 23 hours of the day with your nutrition? Right, because that's where you can undo a lot of progress, or you could hinder your recovery and performance without having, enough food, enough protein, enough micros, all that kind of stuff. Not drinking enough water, and then we kind of get over to this lifestyle pillar, right? And we're giving it a specific pillar, but realistically, it's all these things, right? And we always start from the bottom and work our way up here in terms of like fundamental things that are going to help you achieve like your body composition goals. And the first one is sleep. All right, like sleep, if you don't have good sleep, it's going to derail everything in your life, honestly. You need to get that taken care of. There's a lot of things you can do to help your sleep. I would say generally, right? Like you want to try and go to bed at night at the same time every night, right? That helps your body with your circadian rhythm. You want to have it as dark as you possibly can. It's better to have it cool. If you have breathing problems, you need to get those taken care of. You should have a bedtime ritual. Right, everything that's going to get you in the mood, take your body to relax and wind down and know it's time to go to sleep and shut off. Okay, because sleep is where you recover, physically, mentally. That's where it happens. Right. Next one up is you need to limit alcohol and drugs, right, or completely abstain from them. Right. So these are going to severely derail your progress. I see alcohol. People think, because it's so common to drink alcohol. Alcohol kills your gains so quickly. It doesn't mean you won't see people that are jacked or in good shape, not enjoying their life and having alcohol, but they could be more of an outlier, right? Like I remember people thinking like, oh, well, I see this jacked dude in college and he's always hammering beers every weekend. This guy has probably incredible genetics with high testosterone, and that's why he's able to drink 15 beers in a night 2 times a weekend and then still go to the gym and build a ton of muscle. He's young, he's healthy, he's got good genetics, all these things. Like that's not you. So you can't do that. You can't get away with that. All right. And if you're not there, and let's say you're in your 20s, your 30s, whatever it is, you're older, like alcohol is only going to get worse and worse for you. Okay. So cut that crap out, honestly, if you're serious about making progress in the gym. Stress, we all know that's a silent killer. Got to take the different routines, different mindsets to reduce stress, right? Everyone's stress is going to be different. We're going to have different levels. We're going to be handling stress differently. Heck, if it means you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. If you need to do things to take care of your body, like book times at massage, go for walks, whatever it is to bring your stress level down, good. Read books, self-improvement, psychology books, like self-help books. Those are going to be big, right? And that also kind of comes into this mindset and motivation, right? Because a lot of the stress that we give ourselves mentally comes down to whether or not we can handle the things that are upon us, and we need to change our mindset and motivation. Now, some people are going to have very, good reasons why they're stressed, and it's avoidable. And stress is part of it. And, in more stressful times on yourself mentally and physically, you got to know when to dial things back, right? Your daily habits, right? This is, it can be very small things. We'll go hygiene as well here. It's like, when do you wake up? What are your first things you do in the morning? Do you just scroll your social media feed? or are you getting after, getting ready, getting your mentally prepared, cleaning yourself up, making yourself presentable, all these different things. And this is all going to play into, and I would say probably right now, like the biggest people that's is dopamine problems between, being on the phone all the time, video games, gambling, all these things are problematic for your mindset and your motivation and getting things done. And the more you can kind of clear things away from what you do and have to do, want to do, the less you have to do, the more focus you can give to things that matter. And that's what's important there. So I'll just give a very small example. Like one thing that was constantly weighing me down, really random, and it's like important thing to do is investing, right? But you start getting into stocks, right? And it's good. You're making money. Sometimes you lose money, right? And it can be stressful if you're checking it all the time and seeing the ups and the downs. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's like just either buy the index funds or buy the good old reliable stocks, like, not financial advice, but we all know the big ones, the Amazons, the Googles, the Apples, that kind of stuff. You can't go too wrong there. And it's like, don't check it already. Buy and hold and relieve your mind from that and focus on other things. Focus on building skills, right? Building a business, building your career, whatever it might be. And stop checking all these things. Let things sap your attention, right? Our attentions are constantly sapped. And that is a big part of lifestyle. Well, especially particularly in the day and age we live in is our attention being sapped. So, right. A big thing here to remember in terms of keeping all the things that we do adherable, right, is when we go back to Eric Helms' strength and muscle pyramid, right, is this REF principle: realistic, enjoyable, and flexible, right? And that means you got to pick a plan that fits your goals, your schedule, your energy, whatever it is, and you have to enjoy it to some degree. Some people will need it more enjoyable than others. Some people don't care and they're way more rigid and just, they get it done, right? But everyone's going to be different, and you got to be able to enjoy that process. You might be more into just like, hey, give me the numbers. As long as I see the numbers going up, I don't care. Some people are like, well, I got to have fun while I'm working out. I need different stuff. Well, then that's something that you need to plan for. And then it also needs to be flexible, right? Because life is going to throw you those curveballs. Travel, stress, events, whatever it is. It could be injuries, whatever it is. Like, you do need something that's adaptable, and that's why we give options. Work out 2 times a week, all the way up to 5 times per week. Depending on what it is, you need to come back to those basic principles in your programs and say, okay, well, I need to be doing about 40 to 70, working sets per muscle group per workout, frequency at 2 to 3 times per week. That means, the bare minimum. If I want to do the minimum effective dose, I'm going to stick within these during a time when I'm most, stressed or busy, don't have time. Get in the gym 2 times a week, hit the bare minimum numbers, and let's just maintain where we're at. And then you have periods of times where you're going to be focused on taking off, making a lot of progress, right? But overall, it's about that long-term view. And go back to stocks here. It's about seeing that stock chart, your life, your lifestyle, your gains, your progress. You're going to have ups and downs, but generally you want to see over time that it trends up, right? And don't compare yourself to everybody else, right? This is you. This is your life. Everybody's at a different spot. You have different problems. Your stock chart symbol, your life is going to look a little different, okay? So just to kind of recap some of these things, right? Sleep's going to be huge. You need 7 to 9 hours, tip most people, and make sure it's good quality, right? If you don't get that sleep, your hormones are going to be thrown off, recovery's off, willpower's off. I see sleep kill so many people's willpower, particularly with diet. Like, if you were just light on sleep, you were just going to make worse choices, and then you're going to have more cravings, and it's just going to get worse, right? In terms of non-exercise activity thermogenesis, right? This is a big part of lifestyle. You want to be active, right? Ideally, go for your walks. But if you can't do that or don't want to do that, find something that is fun. Play basketball, whatever it is. Go golfing and walk instead of take the carts. Whatever floats your boat for that. But this is going to drive a long-term sustainable transformation for you to see results. You've got to stay active. That's a big thing. Or else you just really aren't going to be able to eat that much. And honestly, even if you don't eat that much and don't eat to move a lot, you still should, because it's good for you to move around. So yeah, and that's what we say here. The most basic neat metric here is 8 to 10,000 steps per day. And we talked about the stress, right? And one thing too, self assessment here, and stress management and stuff like that is I'm gonna have a little module about self-help books and things that I have found very useful in my life. And I know other people have found very useful, been recommended to me. And I'm going to share you with those, and only the most important ones am I going to put in there. But yeah, you'll see those books in there as well. Other big thing, right? Social environment. Who are you hanging out with? Who is pressuring you to do what? Where are you feeling pressure from? He may not even be pressuring you. They may not be pressuring you. You may feel pressured though. You do really want to surround yourself with people who understand and respect your goals and encourage you to reach your goals, and maybe even are knowledgeable and can directly help you with your goals, right? Like that's so important. I think it is very accurate that you do become an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So you do need to pick wisely who you spend your time with. Who do you give your energy to, and who's giving you their energy? Because it is contagious, right? Bad energy is very badly contagious, and you got to be careful to protect your energy for all that kind of stuff. So overall, right? Nobody's gonna have like a perfect program, a perfect meal plan, a perfect whatever, right? Like you got to have some basic principles and stick to them long enough and make it for a lifetime plan, right? And you got to make sure you're asking yourself the right questions and being realistic with yourself, right? Like if you're going to make these changes, like how often am I at food heavy social events, and what tactics am I going to use to make sure that I stay on track? Like where am I going to ruin all my progress, right? Like am I going out to the bar every Friday and Saturday? Am I going to the bar every Friday? Like it's only 2 or 3 drinks. Well, are you at where you want to be? Well, then you probably need to sacrifice some things to get where you want to be, right? And you need to make long-term changes. Big thing also, right, is your biofeedback monitoring. I'd say big 3 warning signs when you're dieting down, particularly, is you got to watch your sleep, the gym performance, and your sexual drive. If you notice that you're sleeping worse, and then your gym performance is tanking, and then your libido is tanking, like something is wrong there hormonally. You're being overtaxed, overworked, not giving yourself enough time to recover, not enough nutrients to recover, then you need to readjust something there and take a look at what you're doing, right? So overall, right, it's we said here, lifestyle, considering it is not optional. It's the foundation of thinking about everything like this holistic manner. It's not just about the workout you do. You go on the modules in the master classes and you go, okay, well, I'm just going to do I got a full access gym. I'm going to do the 4 day per week. I'll be good because I just follow this workout. I'm progressing with the weights for a period of time. Like it's going up and then I'm not, but I still don't look like I want. Well, what else is going on in your life outside that 1 hour in the gym? You may be crushing it in the gym, but what else is going on the other 23 hours in the day? And that's why it's important to consider these factors. Also reiterating here that adherence beats optimization, right? Like if you're doing something that's like 100% optimal, but only like half the time, but you're doing something that's like 80% optimal, like 80% of the time, that is going to be so much better. And that's why you need to focus on what's sustainable and not always necessarily what's the most optimal. Get worried about like, what's the perfect split? What's the perfect exercise? What's the perfect foods that I need to eat? I'm not making progress because I need this food. Right? You know what you need to do. That's the truth. Most of the time, people know what they need to do. They just don't follow through on it. So make some sacrifices, right? There's a price to everything. Make the sacrifice and focus on what you need to do. All right. And I'm going to throw this out there too. If you're watching this and you need extra help, whatever it may be, I'm here for you. Please reach out to me. I would love to make sure that you have things aligned. I'm here for any kind of chat and talk you might need. So I hope that this is one of my longer modules, but I hope that this is helpful because this is what it's all about: creating and living a more healthy lifestyle for the long term.